Hey guys, let's get more news from Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Chicago Bears QB Justin Fields agrees ref screwed team in game fans say was rigged by NFL. Chicago Bears quarterback Justin Fields won over a few NFL fans in the rigged crowd with comments he made about a game that the league even thought wasn't called correctly during a recent appearance on the 33rd team's St. Brown's Brothers podcast. Chicago Bears quarterback Justin Fields won over a few NFL fans in the rigged crowd with comments he made about a game that the league even thought wasn't called correctly during a recent appearance on the 33rd team's St. Brown's Brothers podcast. Fields said the officials cheated for the Steelers. "I'm not gonna get fined, I shouldn't get fined here, right? Alright, I gotta say it. The refs, they cheated," Fields said. "They cheated us out of that game. I'm not gonna lie. There's a flag where if you go back and look it up, bro, there's a flag at the end of the game. We just get a big play. It's fourth down, we got a linebacker run off the field. The ref looks back and bumps into him. I seen that flag, bro. I'm like, come on. I was sick." Per a 2021 article from The Big Lead, the NFL Network reported the league privately knew the poor officiating in Pittsburgh hurt the Bears. But privately, members of the NFL's officiating department who reviewed the game acknowledged that referee Tony Corrente and his crew erred on at least 3 separate critical calls and non-calls that went against Chicago in that 29-27 loss, including a low block penalty on the Bears that nullified a Justin Fields touchdown pass, sources familiar with the league's thinking said. Officials also missed multiple penalties by the Steelers, including a late hit on Fields that would have given the Bears first-and goal on the same third-quarter drive and offsides by multiple Steelers on Cairo Santos' 65-yard field goal attempt that fell short as time expired. The Bears were called for 12 penalties for 115 yards in the loss. The Steelers were flagged 5 times for 30 yards. NFL fans pointed to some of the plays in that game as evidence the league is rigged for specific teams. The win was crucial for the Steelers because it kept them in the playoff hunt. And many fans felt it was at the time. Pittsburgh Steelers land heavily linked $18 million QB in big trade proposal. After being eliminated by the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs, the Pittsburgh Steelers are looking to reinforce their lineup, especially in the backup quarterback position. In this regard, the team is reportedly eyeing the Chicago Bears' Justin Fields to fulfill that need. The Bears, in particular, didn't have a good run after finishing 4th in the NFC North Division with a 7-10 record. Despite not making the playoffs, Fields finished the season with 2,562 yards, 16 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and a 61.4% completion rating. The Steelers, meanwhile, have been enamored with Fields since before he entered the league in 2021. The front office will have to decide whether the Bears star is worth getting to replace Mason Rudolph and Kenny Pickett in the lineup. With Fields entering free agency, there's a mounting desire in Pittsburgh to sign the quarterback for next season. The thing is, they might have to cook up a package for the Bears and hope they aren't interested in him anymore after awarding him with an $18 million contract during his stint there. That interest has certainly dwindled down for Chicago, as it can use the number 1 pick to select Caleb Williams to be their new starting quarterback. Pittsburgh, meanwhile, reportedly has a trade package to acquire Fields from the Bears in an article by Courtney Cronin and Field Yates for ESPN. When gathering reporting on potential trade offers for Fields 2 months ago, several sources around the NFL suggested something similar to this Pittsburgh package. The Bears could fill their pick void in the second round and add a third fourth-rounder, Cronin and Yates said. Fields has long been a target for the Steelers, and his availability in the offseason is definitely intriguing for them. The ball is now in Chicago's hands on whether they keep Fields or take a chance on Caleb Williams. Russell Wilson might be the best bad option for Steelers, columnist says. Denver Broncos QB Russell Wilson seems to be the hottest name on the lips, or at the fingertips, of plenty of people in connection with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, that is a non-starter unless the Broncos release Wilson. Which, to be fair, is the expectation at this point. However, does the move make sense for the Steelers? Wilson will turn 36 during the 2024 season and will not be a long-term solution at quarterback. According to Bill Ryder, it's not a perfect fit, but it does make sense. The Steelers want to win now, and their owner has said that, Ryder said Wednesday on the Ryder Than You show. They have to win a playoff game this year, I think, to keep the pressure off and avoid the mistake of getting rid of Mike Tomlin or him wanting to leave. Russell Wilson might be the best bad option that is out there. Owner Art Rooney too has made it clear that the team needs to start winning playoff games. After all, the Steelers haven't won a single playoff game since 2016. For an organization that says it holds itself to a championship standard, that's far too long. You can't win a Super Bowl without winning playoff games. It's also obvious that the offense is a huge problem for the Steelers, and the lack of production from the quarterback position is holding the entire team back. Currently, the Steelers only have one quarterback under contract for 2024, and that's Kenny Pickett. The Steelers will certainly be adding multiple quarterbacks during the offseason to get ready for training camp. The question is how ambitious the team will be. For Ryder, if the Steelers are truly about winning playoff games this season, Wilson is going to be the best option of a less-than-stellar bunch. Potentially available quarterbacks include older veterans on the downswing of their careers, and even coming off injuries, like Kirk Cousins, or unproven players, Justin Fields. So to be a quarterback-needy team with the 20th overall pick in the draft is not ideal. Ryder calling Wilson the best bad option doesn't actually mean Wilson is a bad quarterback. After all, his production in 15 games during the 2023 season was far and away better than the production the Steelers got. Wilson completed 66.4% of his passes for 3,070 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. He threw a touchdown on 5.8% of his passing attempts versus an interception 1.8% of the time. It just means that there is a lot of uncertainty. As noted above, Wilson is not a young quarterback. Then there is the falling out with Sean Payton in Denver. Wilson isn't without his blemishes, real and overblown. It certainly doesn't mean that he can't be a help to a team, though. There does seem to be some consensus in the media world that Wilson is the best short-term option for the Steelers. Former NFL wide receiver Victor Cruz even said that the Steelers will win the AFC North if the team adds Wilson this offseason. Ryder did advise caution with Wilson, saying that the Steelers cannot get locked into a long-term contract, which is the exact problem the Broncos find themselves in. Ryder did mention one other interesting name for the Steelers. At the end of the segment, he floated former Cleveland Browns and longtime Baltimore Ravens QB Joe Flacco as an option due to his successful stint late in the season with the Browns. He joined Zach Gelb, who mentioned Flacco on Tuesday's episode of The Zach Gelb Show as the best option meeting the Steelers' desire to win playoff games, while also getting a good look at Pickett. And you fan, what do you think of the Russell Wilson situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.